Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this KEFEYA S5 triple screen laptop screen extender. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So I'm going to take a look at this on my bench here and then we'll get it set up on my desk. So you provide your laptop and it gives you two more screens for a triple screen display. Screen size is 15.6 inches, it's 1080p, 60 Hz, 300 candela per meter squared, 1001 contrast ratio. Here's a picture of the front and the back. A unique feature of this is it comes with a battery. That way the screens can be powered by the battery as opposed to your laptop battery. And here we have more specs. You can pause and read through those. So these are the parts it comes with. So let's get this open. Here we have the screens. We have the user manual. Let's take a quick look at it. So you expand the monitor, you stretch the frame, it has a foot. It talks about closing it. This talks about connecting the laptop. So if you have full-featured USB-C, you can use that for your power and your monitor, or you can use USB-C and HDMI. You can connect other devices to this, but it says external power is required. This talks about the power bank. It connects to the back with a magnet. This talks about setting up the sound settings. So this supports HDMI sound, and it shows for Mac and Windows. And this talks about Mac and Windows display settings, and some more notes. And it looks like we also have this quick guide. And here are the different parts. So we have the cables here, and this one says for product type C1 and C2, full featured type C. This one says type C1, 2, power only. This is a USB-C to USB-A. So these cables are labeled. This is the USB-C to HDMI cable. This is the H5 cable. So I was looking into this H5 cable, and if we look on the back side of the instructions here, it has instructions for installing a driver. So this would be for a computer that only supports one external display, and this will allow it to support a second external display. So this could be good for something like a MacBook Air. And this is another Type-C cable. This has an angled plug on it, and here's the power bank. So if we press the button here, it's going to show the charge level. Peel the plastic off. So it says multifunction button. It says how to use. Double-click the button twice to close the pogo pin interface output. Press to enable the pogo pin interface outlet. So this has a USB-A, USB-C port, and then it also has pogo pins, which are here. That connects it to the display. Let's look at the display. It comes with this nice case. It's a pouch on the side. Pull this out. Flip it over. Here we have a place for the battery. So we want the pogo pin to line up with the connectors, and now that's connected. Let's go ahead and do some charging on this. So I have a USB-C power brick. This is similar to one that would come with, say, my MacBook. So I'll plug that in, pull out a USB-C cable. I'll plug into the charger and plug into the power bank. And now we're charging. There. And I have a power meter here, and it says it's charging at 22 watts. Now that can vary depending on the state of charge of the power bank. So I'll let that charge while we're looking at this a little bit more. So we have instructions on setting this up for triple display. So to open this up, I'm just going to pull it apart, and then these displays will flip out. So now this can close back together. For smaller laptops, the laptop will just sit against it. For larger ones, it will kind of clamp against it. Now there's plastic on both sides here. I'll pull that off. Now to close it, now open this up, and I'll fold it back down. Then close it. Now if we go on the back side, we do have a foot here that we can open up. And here we have the USB-C ports and power. So this is a toggle switch, so we can press in on that, or we can toggle it up or down. So now let's head over to my desk and I'll get this set up. Okay, so I'm here at my desk. I have the screen extender and my laptop. Let's get this set up. I'll pull it out of the bag. I have the two cables I need and the battery in the bag also. I'll place the battery on the back, pull the kickstand out. Now I'm going to connect the wires. So I have the USB-C to HDMI cable and the USB-C to USB-C cable. So I'm going to plug those into the Type C1 and Type C2 ports. Now since I have a power bank on here, I don't need to plug it into external power. I'll set this up and I'll open it. Now I'll open my laptop. I'll place this up against the screen extender. Now I'll close this, and since this is a narrower laptop, it's not going to clamp against it, but it snuggles right in there. Now I'll plug in the displays. So I'll plug one into USB-C. I'll plug the other into HDMI. And now we have all three displays. So before I go too far, I want to go into my display settings. So I'll go to the settings control panel. I'll go to displays. Then I'll go to arrange. So the displays are labeled S5R and S5L for S5 right and left. So I'll take the one that's S5L and I'll move it over to the left side. I'll hit done. And now we can see that the displays are arranged properly. So I can open up multiple windows here. I have Google Chrome over here. I have Visual Studio Code on the right side. And I have LibreOffice open in the middle. Since these are angled, I can angle them for good ergonomics. So I can have these tilted up, or I can tilt them back until they're straight. But I like them tilted up just a little bit. So the way my Mac is currently set up, I can't span across two, so it has to be on one monitor or the other. Now I can change that in my settings. I'll go to settings, I'll go to desktop and dock, and I'll scroll down, and there's a setting at the bottom that says displays have separate spaces. I want to turn that off, and now it says I need to log out, so I'll do that. So now I can take this spreadsheet, and I'll put it on the left monitor. I'll grab the bottom right corner, and I'll drag it over to the right side. Now I needed to lift it up just a little bit here because the resolution on my main display is different from the side display. So in LibreOffice here I have A through BD showing all on here. So if you have a really long spreadsheet, you can spread that out and show it across all three displays. Now in my built-in display I can actually tell this to display more space. And we got over to BG on the third display. Now these are all running as native displays. If this was a MacBook Air with an M1 processor, I could use that H5 cable to set it up with multiple displays. So this does have settings. You can press in on the power button on the back. Now if we pull it up, it's going to change the volume. If we press it down, it's going to change the brightness. So the initial thing you do is going to determine what you're going to be setting. So you press up for volume, and then you press up and down to change the volume. Then you press down for brightness, and you press up and down for brightness changing. Now if we want to go to the menu, we'll press in on that, and that shows the settings here. So we have brightness, contrast, backlight, and other settings here, on-screen display. It's a typical menu like you'd see on another monitor or TV. So when we're done using this, we can pull our laptop out, unplug these, close it up. We'll stretch this. We'll fold in one side, fold in the second side, slide it back together, unplug the cables, and fold the foot down. Now we can slide it in the pouch. We'll stow away the cables and it's ready for carrying. So that's the KEFEYA S5 triple screen laptop screen extender. I really like how easy this is to set up. With the integrated battery, I think Amazon said you get up to 6 hours of screen time. Now I'm guessing that can vary depending on the brightness. That makes it easier to use since you only have to run display cords to your laptop. Now the picture on this looked very good. So many people get used to using multiple displays when they're at their desktop. But when you have a laptop and you're on the go, you have to go back down to one screen. With a screen extender like this, you can have multiple screens on the go. Not only can you have multiple screens, you actually can have 3 screens, which can make for a really nice setup. This can be really nice for developers or business people. If you're analyzing data and want to have multiple screens up, or you're looking at code, you can have your code on one screen and maybe your browser on another. This was really easy to set up. It's nice that it has that battery so you don't have to have external power going to it. Now according to Amazon, I think it said that you get around 6 hours on that. Of course, that can vary depending on the brightness of the monitor. Now I had the default brightness on there and it looked fine to me. And I'm in a pretty bright room, but I could turn that brightness up if I wanted. This was really easy to set up. You just plug in the display cables. Now if you have a laptop that doesn't have display output, you can use that H5 cable and use the USB display. Now I use the USB-C to USB-C and the HDMI cable. I could swap out the HDMI cable for a second USB cable and run both off USB, but it worked fine the way I did it. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.